All right, let's try this again. Are we live now? Yes, we are. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in to WrestleScope Weekly for the week of May 7th, 2022. Season 2, episode number 7, I believe it is. Wherever you may be listening to or watching this. If you're watching live, thank you very much. If you're watching the replay, hello again. Thank you very much. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, it is always a pleasure to have you on here, wherever you may be watching or listening. Thank you very much. As you can see, scrolling on the bottom of the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook Live, we are on TikTok. We are on Twitter. We are also on Instagram and Twitch, and on multiple different audio platforms as well. We greatly appreciate you tuning into the channel as the channel's continuing to grow, just continuing to grow this channel with everything that is everything that's happening here. As always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell wherever you may be listening or watching. Not as much to talk about this week. It's been a little bit of a quieter week in the world of wrestling. Do have 2 breaking news stories today. And one of them, man, I hate to start with a story like this. And I saw this earlier today. When did this come out? It was actually late last night that this was posted, and I didn't get to do anything online with it today. What's up, Howling Mad? Good to see you. Roman Reigns, good to see you as well. Prince 1997, always good to see you guys. Unfortunately, WWE Hall of Famer Sunny, Tammy Lynn Sitch, is in trouble again, and this time it's really serious. The headline, Tammy Sitch arrested and facing 9 charges in connection to a March 2022 car accident and post bail. This is the story from Fightful Select. On April 6th, it was reported that Tammy Sitch, better known to wrestling fans as Sunny, allegedly caused a car crash in which a 75-year-old man died in March. The police suspected she was under the influence of alcohol at the time of the accident. A civil lawsuit was subsequently filed against Sitch and boyfriend James Penty by the estate of Julian L. Lassiter, who was killed on March 25th in Ormond Beach, Florida. The lawsuit is seeking in excess of $30,000. In a statement to TMZ Sports at the time of the original report, a spokesman for the Ormond Beach Police Department said they are actively investigating the crash and say toxicology results could ultimately lead to criminal charges against Sitch. Now, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Sitch was arrested this evening, which would be last night, in Ormond Beach, Florida, in connection to the death of Mr. Lassiter. She's being processed in Volusia County Branch Jail in Daytona Beach and is currently facing 9 charges, including DUI manslaughter, driving with a suspended or revoked license causing death or serious injury, and 7 counts of DUI causing damage to a person or property. And her mugshot was posted. The story continues on. On May 7th, Steve Carrier of Ringside News posted that Sitch had posted her bail, a bond of $227,500. She is free to remain at home until such time that her case goes to trial. Carrier also notes that she procured bail through Bob Berry bail bonds, meaning she would need to only produce 10% of the total amount owed at this moment. Back in June of 2015, Sitch claimed to have suffered a seizure following a traffic accident, but later pled guilty to a DUI in all 3 cases, as well as 1 count of driving without a license. In July 2016, she admitted in an interview that she agreed to the guilty plea because she was blackout drunk, in quotes, during what she termed the worst relapse of her life. My initial response to this story, and it's still my response to this story, is she needs help. Tammy Sitch needs help. She has had numerous run-ins with the law, multiple DUIs, has been in jail on multiple accounts. She even served prison time. She served prison time as well, which is not in this story. There's a lot of issues here. And now she has caused the death of another person. This isn't going to be a slap on the wrist. This isn't going to be 60, 90, 120 days in jail. We're talking potential, with this being, I don't know how many different times she's been charged with DUI, but now DUI manslaughter. We're talking bare minimum 3 years, if not a lot longer, in jail. And quite honestly, that may be the best place for her right now. I hate to say it, but she just cannot get her life back on track. It has been one train wreck moment after another. It's absolutely terrible what has been going on with her. And I don't know if it's the people she is associating with. I don't know if it's the relationship she's in. If there's other underlying issues, but I sincerely hope that, Tammy Sitch gets help. But the thing is, and this was brought up to me once before. We had talked about this a couple of weeks ago on one of my broadcasts with something she had going on. And I had suggested, well, maybe she needs to connect with DDP. Maybe Diamond Dallas Page can help her. She's going to want the help, though. And at this point in time, I don't think she does. Yeah, I agree. She's got to pay for what she's done. And she will now. There is no way she gets out of this one. Absolutely not. She is not going to be able to work her way out of this. Even if it was a first time something like this happening, when you're talking vehicular manslaughter, while you were under the influence, that's a double whammy right there. And regardless of the age of the person, I mean, yes, it was a 75-year-old man that has lived a long life, but it doesn't matter. That does not matter. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible news. I hate to see this happening. So all we can hope for, I'm going to try keeping an eye out for updates on this story. I think the only good ending to this is if she finally does get the help she needs before it's too late. But I don't know if it's going to happen. All right, let's switch gears into, I'm going to have to backtrack on something here. Last night I talked about who I was thinking were going to be the jokers in the Owen Hart tournament in AEW. And one of the names on the women's side I brought up that potentially could be is Mia Yim. Well, cross her off the list, because Mia Yim, she appeared tonight at Impact Under Siege, according to Laredo Kid. And Fightful Select has learned that this is not a one-off. She has actually signed a deal with the company. Now, does that mean that takes her 100% off from being, possibly being the Joker in the women's part of the Owen Hart tournament? No, but I highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it at this point in time. It doesn't say what she did. Unfortunately, I was planning on really. Wow, I actually had to ban my first person on Twitch. Holy cow. That was nice. Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, Shiro Gallardo. If you don't, okay, hold on. If you don't care about wrestling, why are you watching my stream? Okay? If you don't like it, don't watch. Plain and simple. Good grief. Anyways, the story from Fightful Select, Yim has been very selective of her wrestling appearances since her WWE release, and she's only competed a couple of times. She formerly wrestled in TNA as Jade, where she became Knockouts champion, and she left the company back in 2017. So she is back in Impact Wrestling. I don't know what details there are of why she appeared or what her role there was, but she's there. Also, do you want me to give any spoilers out of Under Siege? I was planning on watching it tonight, but family life happens. Things happen. So I didn't. I may still end up paying the $5 and watch it. But do you want me to give you spoilers? I mean, I already gave you one that Mia Yim showed up. The Briscoe brothers have won. I don't know how many different titles. They are trying to catch up to the damn Dudley boys with the number of tag team title victories they have. They defeated Violent by Design tonight to become the new Impact World Tag Team Champions. So I'm really not surprised there. You know, after they lost in their in vying for the NWA World Tag Team titles. All right, let's go for 2. Hey, all right, we're on a banning spree tonight. Hey, it's Saturday night. You know what time it is. Here he comes. The MVP of the show. It's Jonah. Don't be afraid to look in the camera. Say hi. Hi. He's tired. He played 2 soccer games today. All right, you going to bed, buddy? All right, love you. Like I said, he knows when I go on with these streams, doesn't he? He knows. All right, who in the world is texting me in the middle of the show? Really? Oh, that's who. Okay. I don't have any other spoilers for Impact. I could probably find out stuff. But oh boy, Dave Meltzer is making claims now. Well, Sean Ress. Oh, wait. We might have an update of why or what Mia Yim was doing. Let's see. Oh! After her return, she saved Taya Valkyrie from an attack by Deonna Purrazzo following their match for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. Another spoiler, which Taya Valkyrie won. So she retained the championship. No surprise there. Boy, Deonna Purrazzo's got to really be ticked off. She is no longer the champ. She has lost every belt she's had. Every single belt she's had. I'm a little disappointed. I was really hoping Mia Yim was going to end up in AEW because I really wanted her and Keith Lee to be in the same company together. But I also don't want, as much crap as Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti get, and they deserve it, honestly. I mean, I still respect them. I'm still a fan of Ty Conti, but just the way they purport themselves on on television. It's not good. It is not good at all. All right. I've completely lost track of what else we were going to talk about. Oh, let's talk about this. We talked about it last night. We're going to talk about it again since it is the weekly show. Candace LeRae, otherwise known as Mrs. Johnny Wrestling, is now a free agent. That is right. The former NXT star, her contract expired as of a few days ago, and she is now officially a free agent because, again, when a contract expires, there is no 90-day non-compete clause. So she is free to go wherever she wants right now. Now, she is 4 months post childbirth. I don't think she will be returning to active wrestling for at least a couple more months. You know, with a 3-4 month old baby at home, I highly doubt she is going to come back and wrestle probably before the end of the summer. But I could be wrong. Because how long was it? It was what, nine months after Becky Lynch gave birth that she came back? Yeah, it was about 9 months, I think. So we'll have to see. But the reason why this is important is Johnny Gargano has been a free agent since December of last year. And he just started making appearances at signings. He has not appeared at any wrestling shows in any wrestling capacity since leaving WWE back in December. Is this now going to open the door for him to show up somewhere else? I have been saying for months that Johnny Gargano was waiting until he knew what was going to happen with his wife. And now that her contract has expired, and now that she is a free agent, I believe Johnny is going to show up somewhere very soon. Now, there's obviously at the time of this broadcast, there is a wrestling pay-per-view on right now. Impact Under Siege. I don't think Johnny's going to end up in Impact Wrestling. I don't think he would go there. But I could be wrong. I mean, the way they do their schedule, I mean, they tape 3-4 weeks of shows in one day. I mean, they get a month to 5 weeks of programming done in 2 to 3 days. That's actually pretty good for the family lifestyle. But you take a look at AEW. They have 1 day a week. 2 if you include Dark Elevation, where they will have live and tapings, with the exception of big weeks. The week leading into Double or Nothing, they're going to be in Las Vegas on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, or Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Is that a Saturday or a Sunday? No, it's a Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. Regardless, it is Saturday. It is that Saturday. That's right. And are you Cody? I will answer that question in just a minute. I truly believe, and this is just my opinion, Johnny Gargano is going to end up in AEW. I still don't know if he's going to end up being the Joker, which Tanya loves wrestling. This goes to your question. Who do you think will be the Joker for the men's Owen Hart tournament? I've got a list of 4 or 5 guys it potentially could be. I still believe it's going to be somebody from outside of AEW. Johnny Gargano, Cesaro. It could be somebody from inside. on last night's broadcast, we talked about the list that I think it was Sports Kita came out with. They had Powerhouse Hobbs, they had Chris Jericho, Miro, which hadn't even thought about him. That would be a good shout. Miro versus Samoa Joe would be a great match. But who do you have go over in that match? I guess you could have Miro win because of outside interference by Jay Lethal, which would continue to build their storyline. I think that's what's going to happen, though, is regardless of who it is, Samoa Joe is not going to win because they're going to keep building that Jay Lethal Samoa Joe ROH Tag Team Championship match or TV title match. They're going to keep building that. So they're going to screw Samoa Joe on moving forward in the Owen Hart tournament. And that way, whoever ends up being the Joker, they look good, but it doesn't hurt Joe in the end. I think that's Tony Khan's planning all along. But again, I believe Johnny Gargano is going to end up in AEW. I truly believe that he was waiting to see what was going to happen with Candace. She will follow him maybe around All Out. That would be a heck of a surprise because isn't the women's casino battle royal is at All Out, and wouldn't it be awesome to have a Candace LeRae be the Joker in the casino battle royal for the women? That would be pretty slick. I'd like that one a lot. Which, let's go ahead and transition into it here. Who's going to be the Owen Hart Tournament Jokers? Back to your question, Tanya. I honestly don't know. Again, on the men's side, there's multiple different ways they could go with this. Like I said, Johnny Gargano, Cesaro, Miro as inside the company. Could there be something I didn't think about last night? Could there be somebody from New Japan Pro Wrestling that could slide over? Multiple different. Oh, here's one we didn't think about. Somebody that we have seen on AEW TV, and he has been involved in the discussions about the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. The Switchblade himself, Jay White. I don't see that one happening. Ooh. You know what could be a very interesting booking here? The Joker is on the opposite side of the bracket of Adam Cole. You have Adam Cole and Jay White advance to the finals. And that friendship, that Bullet Club Undisputed Elite friendship goes up in smoke. And you will have faction warfare going into the Forbidden Door, where you will have Bullet Club versus Undisputed Elite. You know, you can have Cole and Red Dragon against, you know, who would it be? Switchblade and the Good Brothers? Switchblade, Chris Bay, and Juice Robinson, who's now part of the group. Could have a very interesting situation. And then you also have the return of Kenny Omega sometime in between Double or Nothing and Forbidden Door. Then you add in Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Holy heckins, you could have some fun there, couldn't you? Okay. Tanya, I don't think it's going to be... I've seen Kenny Omega's name come up a couple of times that he could be the one. they're not going to bring him back for this tournament. He is going to come back in a much bigger role. And like I said, it's going to be some sort of a surprise at Double or Nothing. He may not get physical. He will still have a month to get ready for a match of any sort at the Forbidden Door. And I don't believe he's going to, I don't think he would have a singles match. I really don't think he would have a singles match. If anything, he'd be involved in a trios tag team match or, a 5v5 match, maybe. We'll see. Yes, Athena. Let's talk about the women's jokers. You've got Athena, the former Ember Moon. Nixon Newell, the former Tegan Knox. There was another name that I had brought up. Can't be Dakota Kai, because it'll be too early. Actually, she wouldn't even be available until after Double or Nothing. Oh, Deonna Purrazzo. I could see it being Deonna Purrazzo, but I think we might have a Mia Yim Deonna Purrazzo feud going on in Impact. So the list is very short right now. You know what? Who's to say we won't get shocked? Could it be a Cassie Lee or a Jessica of The Inspiration? Could it be one of those two? Yeah, they said they were stepping away from wrestling for a little while. We know Cassie Lee is really heavily wanting to get into acting, and so is Jessica, but maybe she'd be the surprise. But it's got to be somebody that can really take it to Britt Baker and most likely end up beating the former AEW Women's Champion. I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm going to be surprised whatever direction it goes. Again, we're not going to see anything most likely this week unless they announce. They've announced, Cole versus Dax Harwood and Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin for Dynamite. I think they'll announce at least one women's match, and it may be Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter. It could be that one. We'll probably get one on Rampage. Well, what did I say it was going to be? It was going to be 4 in 1 week, 4 in another week. So you'll have probably 3 on Dynamite, 1 on Rampage for the next 2 weeks to get the quarterfinals out of the way. And then you'll have the semifinals split between Dynamite and Rampage, which is probably the way it's going to end up going. I'll be interested to see. I mean, we'll know within the next 10 days, 10, 11 days of who the jokers are. I kind of hope they're not on the same night. I really hope they do them on separate nights, and I really hope they surprise us with the jokers on Dynamite. No offense to Rampage. I love Rampage, but I'd rather see it on the A show on Dynamite. Okay, another story, and this one, again, not super positive here. Dark Side of the Ring, well, is it or is it not coming back for a 4th season? There have been multiple different reports going back and forth on this one of is Vice TV bringing Dark Side of the Ring back for a 4th season or not? There was initially reports that came out that said, no, it is not being renewed. They're not going to do it for a 4th season. Vice TV has come out and said, well, hey, we're still kind of in discussions on it and talking about it. There have been numerous people within the wrestling industry that said, hey, we don't want to be involved in this anymore. Jim Ross, good old JR, is probably the most marquee name of all of them that has said, listen, I am not going to have anything to do with this show anymore. I'm done. After what happened with everything with, first of all, with the plane ride from hell episode. Second of all, the fact that they have taken quotes of his and used them out of context, cut up things to make it look different with things he said, which, I mean, is very commonplace in shows like this and documentaries where, they will cut things up to make it look the best that they possibly can. But Jim Ross doesn't want to deal with it anymore. Me personally, I'd like to see the show come back. I have enjoyed just about every episode. I mean, there's been a few episodes that have been less entertaining than others. But for the most part, I have enjoyed seeing what they have put together. Their team over there has done an incredible job of putting those shows together. I've been thoroughly impressed with all of it. The Vince McMahon WWF steroid trial one was okay. The one with Nick Gage was just unbelievable. Getting to see his backstory. Obviously the plane ride from hell one really opened up a lot of things. Okay, so the main event is going on right now in Impact. Oh, there, we're going to switch gears real quick back to Impact real fast here. Not surprising at all, Sammy Callahan is back in Impact Wrestling. He's been out for a few months with an injury. Prior to the main event tonight, Moose came to the ring, claimed to be hijacking the show, doesn't apologize in any way for anything that he did. He cut down Josh Alexander, calling him a paper champion. And then all of a sudden, Sammy Callahan comes out and attacks him. Yeah, he's actually been out since last September with a broken ankle. So it's good that Sammy Callahan is back in Impact Wrestling. That's going to be an interesting feud, Sammy and Moose. I like that. But, yeah, Dark Side of the Ring, I really do want to see it come back. Very easily, they could do a Tammy Lynn Sitch episode for sure, just with everything going on with her. I don't know if they would touch that subject, but what else could they really talk about though? What else is out there that, first of all, would draw in viewers, and second of all, be interesting content? They could try to do the death of Owen Hart. But I don't know if Martha Hart would let that happen. I don't know if she would let that happen. And dealing with the Hart family with all that one probably won't happen. All right. Hold on. I got to see. What else were we going to talk about tonight? I had a couple of other things on the list. I know. Let me see. What else were we going to talk about this week? How could I forget about this one? Freddie Prinze Jr. wants to start his own wrestling promotion. Now, some of you out there may say, who's Freddie Prinze Jr.? Wait, they did own one already? They did? I don't remember that one. Wow. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Brian always keeping me. Yep, season 2. I'll double check on that. So, Freddie Prinze Jr., yes, the actor. Yes, Mr. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yes, he played, he was in the Scooby-Doo movie. That's right. Freddie Prinze Jr. wants to start a wrestling promotion. Now, he has a lot of friends in the industry. He actually was part of the creative team for WWE for a cup of coffee a few years back, but left because he didn't like the way things were being done. He didn't realize what the world of WWE creative was all about. He didn't know what he was getting himself into. Well, since leaving WWE, I guess he has been planning this and wants to do something. And obviously, like I said, has friends in the industry. And I don't have the direct quotes from the interview he did, but there were some interesting things in there. First of all, he has, an 18 to 24 month timeline to get this started. He wants it to be a 2-hour show. He realizes television is going to be difficult. He wants to do this big. This is not going to be a small independent. He wants to go big with this. But the biggest thing to come out of this is he would want his talent that works for him to be members of the Screen Actors Guild. So they would be basically actors. But what that does is that provides them certain protections. They would be provided with medical coverage to cover anything going on with them that would happen during the shows. Something that nobody else does. This would be as close to unionizing wrestling as we have ever seen before. Yes, Michael. Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. is in the Screen Actors Guild because he's an actor. Now, he stated he could have gotten this done already, but for whatever reason, to do things, he would have had to have gone to Australia for 2 to 3 months, and he didn't want to spend that time away from his family. Now, I'm still baffled on this part of it. Is why would he have to go to Australia to do this? I don't know. Perfect Storm, I'll get to your question in just a minute. A very good question, though. Now, when I first talked about this story about Freddie Prinze Jr., I had stated that I don't believe it's going to be very successful because we're in a time of professional wrestling where there's a lot of options out there right now. I mean, yes, you have WWE on the top, AEW just below them. Then you've got Impact, GCW, Ring of Honor when it comes back, MLW, and a whole bunch of independents underneath it. Warrior Wrestling, just so many other ones out there. Is there enough of the wrestling pie to carve out another piece for somebody else to be successful? Now, 3 years ago, people said that about AEW. Oh, good grief. AEW, they're going to be a flash on the pan. They're going to try competing with WWE, but they're not going to. Well, look what's happened. 3 years in, and they are highly successful. Very successful. But is there room for yet another one? It'll be another option for wrestling fans. But I think at the end of the day, I think what's going to end up happening is whatever Freddie Prinze Jr. calls this organization, we'll call it FPW right now, Freddie Prinze Wrestling. It is going to pull fans away from that second and third tier. It's not going to take away a lot from WWE. It's going to take a little bit away from AEW. But it's going to be those third tiers, the Ring of Honor, the MLW, the GCW, the Impact Wrestling in there, depending on what sort of TV deal they're able to get. I mean, that will be the game changer for them. If they can get a better TV deal than Impact Wrestling has, that could be a difficult shot for Impact Wrestling to overcome, because they're 20 years into this, and I hate to say it, their TV deal sucks. It really does. The fact that they can't get something a little bit better, but again, they would have to change their model of doing things. They would have to go back to doing live. You know, in this day and age, you cannot have a ton of pre-taped shows. You can't have pre-taped shows every single week. I mean, Ring of Honor did it, and it was a struggle for them with Sinclair Broadcasting. AEW does it with Rampage, you know, three out of every 4 weeks. You know, you get so many spoilers out there. You know, you have to do live nowadays. You just have to. I'd like to see him succeed. I'm curious to see what he comes out with. And much like a TV deal will be a game changer, if his talent are members of the Screen Actors Guild, then that's a huge game changer for the world of professional wrestling. To be able to guarantee that, you know, your medical issues will be covered, you will be insured, at least for wrestling-related injuries and healthcare, that's going to be gigantic if that happens, and a huge game changer for the industry. But will he be able to pull it off? I don't know. I really don't know if he'll be able to. But we'll see. 18 months' time puts him somewhere late summer, early fall 2023. And I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it, that the landscape of professional wrestling will change in the next 18 months. It is not going to be the same in 18 months because, you know, it's a very fluid industry right now. It really is. We don't know what's going to happen with Ring of Honor. We don't know what's going to happen with, you know, the Forbidden Door and partnerships between other organizations. We don't know what's going to happen there. What's going to happen with WWE? In 18 months, is Vince McMahon still going to be in control or not? I don't know. Hard to say. You are listening to WrestleScope Weekly, part of WrestleScope TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We got about 15 minutes left in the show here, and we haven't done this segment in quite a while. So I think we're going to open up the stream to a segment I like to call Ask John Anything. And we got a couple of questions already in TikTok here that I'm going to get to. And let's see. What time is Backlash? Backlash starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central. Wait, am I right on that? Or is it start at 8 p.m.? That's a good question. I don't know, because I am not watching the show tomorrow night. Believe it or not, I have made the decision, because it is Mother's Day tomorrow, I am not going to dedicate three plus, if not 4 hours of time tomorrow night to watch a mediocre wrestling pay-per-view. I'm not going to do it. I can watch the replay during the week. I don't think there's going to be anything huge or shocking or anything else that comes out of the show tomorrow night. Okay, so we do know it's tomorrow night. I can't confirm. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time. There's obviously going to be a pre-show, but what's going to be on it? And that's the thing that is baffling with WrestleMania Backlash. There have not been any additional matches announced at all, have there? Let's see. Let's go to Bleacher Report. We've got the updated WWE. Okay, so we've got Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. Edge, AJ Styles. Bobby Lashley, Omos. The 6-man match between the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and the Usos versus RK Bro and Drew McIntyre. And Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. 6 total matches. That is it. 6 matches on this show. And they have not announced anything else. What the heck is going on in WWE? Have they just, only, Tanya, you're right, only one championship match. And actually, Dave Meltzer reported earlier today, and let the Dave Meltzer haters come out now. Let me read you exactly what was said here. Hang on, I have to pull it up. I had to take a screenshot of it. This is from Sportskeeda. As per Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE advertising a tag team title unification match at WrestleMania Backlash was merely a swerve. WWE swerved us, really? The company never had any intentions to go through with it. The plan for Orton and Riddle to team with McIntyre at Backlash instead of taking on the Usos in a tag team unification match was always the plan. This is the quote from Meltzer. The little bit we do know is that the 6-man tag match was always the planned match. There was never a plan to do a unification match. So while most feel this was a usual weekly plans changed, it was not. That also explains why last week nobody would confirm Reigns versus McIntyre, only that Reigns would be in the main event. Look at that. Absolutely unbelievable. Well, then again, I'm not shocked that this is the plan all along. But I've been saying for a month, WWE had no plans in place for Roman Reigns. Well, I guess they did. Or did they? And are they just covering their butts? I don't know. But yeah. So anyways, I will not be watching Backlash live tomorrow night. For one, it's going to be an absolutely boring pay-per-view. The only 2 matches I care about, honestly, are Rhodes Rollins and Edge AJ Styles. Because we could end up seeing the appearance of the new 3rd member of Judgment Day tomorrow night, since Damian Priest is banned from ringside. Only Damian Priest is banned from ringside. You'd have to think they've got to add some sort of a women's match into this show late, because they have one women's match. The Raw Women's Champion isn't booked for anything. Becky Lynch, Asuka, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Nobody, and none of them are on the show. You don't have Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. Nothing. It's like literally they're mailing this one in. And the fact that they're doing this on Mother's Day too is really irritating to me. Just another thing that irritates me about WWE. Which, if hold on a second, since we're on TikTok, And boy, it's kind of a shame that this guy is not in my live tonight. Let's see. Hold on. Vinny with a bunch of numbers, calling me out because all I do is love on AEW. Yeah, I talk the positives of AEW, but hey, guess what? I criticize them as well. I criticize AEW on here, but the positives outweigh the negatives. I do talk more positives about AEW because they are a more positive product than WWE is. But when WWE does something right, hey, I'll admit it. I'll say it. No, that is going to be on SmackDown next week. It's going to be Sasha and Naomi defending against Shayna and Natty. That's going to be on SmackDown. Tanya, you are right. WWE needs to care about their mid-card titles. Why is Theory not defending his title on Backlash? Why does Ricochet not have a championship match on Backlash? Go figure. All these titles, all these championships, and only one of them being defended. This is a good question. Eric, what role are they putting Lacey Evans in? Well, I would have sworn with all these vignettes that they were building her up to be a babyface. But then, after the last vignette, the ring announcer essentially says, Lacey Evans wants you to show her the respect that she deserves. I'm sorry. That's heel talk right there. Which one are they doing? Is Lacey Evans a babyface or a heel? I don't understand it. I mean, she played a great heel as the sassy Southern Belle. But I'm glad they dropped that gimmick. And I'm so glad they are not referencing all that crap that happened. Oh, man. Do you realize? Because she said she's going to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. And if somehow Charlotte retains tomorrow, we're not going to rehash any of the Lacey Evans Flair stuff, are we? Because before she left with her pregnancy, remember she was involved in that supposed affair with Ric Flair on television? Oh, no. I dread that. No, I agree with you. She does make a better heel. She does great heel promos, but just with everything that, all the vignettes, they were building her up as a sympathetic baby face, weren't they? I don't know. Roman Reigns, have you been watching the NBA playoffs? Not a second. And the Milwaukee Bucks are the defending NBA champions. Not watching any of it. I don't know. I can't watch the NBA. I just can't. Yes, they could have added Ali versus Theory. That's going to be further down the road. I think that's going to be Money in the Bank. Ricochet could do an open challenge. They may still end up doing that tomorrow night, where Ricochet does an open challenge. I kind of like the open challenge. When John Cena did it, there was always somebody new, somebody interesting coming in. It's a great thing for a babyface to do. I want to see them keep doing that. And the fact that at least in the last couple of weeks, they've been giving Ricochet some matches. Yes, they've been against Jinder Mahal and Shanky, but still, they make it happen. Well, just from the reaction I am seeing on Twitter, I think I do need to watch Under Siege at some point in time. It looks like it was a good show. And to be able to purchase it for $5 on YouTube, I think it would be a good idea to do it. Okay, non-wrestling question, but one I'm definitely going to answer here. So is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness worth seeing in theaters, or wait till it comes out on Disney, which actually may be much sooner than anyone thinks? Me personally, I went opening night. I went Thursday night with my wife and my daughter. My daughter and I really enjoyed the movie. I think with it being a samurai, there are certain, whoops, it just fell. There are certain Marvel movies you can kind of get away with not seeing in the theaters. I still haven't watched the Eternals all the way through. That is the only Marvel movie that I have not seen all the way through. You know, there's been a couple of other ones that, yeah, you really don't have to see on the big screen. This is one you need to. And this is one I would recommend if you are in any way, shape, or form a Marvel fan and have not seen the spoilers for the movie. You have to see it in the theater, because spoilers for this movie will ruin it for you. Some movies, you can hear the spoilers and it's still enjoyable. And I think it would still be an enjoyable movie, but with the amount of spoilers in this one, and I don't want to go into any more detail than that, because I don't want to give anything away. But there are things that were spoiled in the trailers. There are even bigger things that weren't in the trailers, that if you wait until it comes out on Disney Plus, even if it's in a couple of months, which still could happen, I think it'll be released before the end of the summer on Disney Plus, honestly. You got to go see it in the theater. I mean, I'm ready to go back and see it a second time already. I really am. Holly, Mad, you're going to go on Tuesday with your wife? Yep. Yeah, I want to go back again soon, because I know there were things I missed. I watch a number of different YouTube channels that do breakdowns of the Marvel shows and the Marvel movies and everything, and Easter eggs and everything else, things you don't see. Wait, they're saying weeks? No. Well, the thing is, we're getting into the busy summer movie season. You're going to have, the final Jurassic movie. You're going to have Top Gun Maverick coming out. You've got the Downton Abbey movie coming out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out that are going to heavily chip into movie viewership. But weeks, I don't know about that. Boy, I would be shocked if it hit Disney Plus before the beginning of August. But hey, I don't know. We'll have to see what the opening weekend numbers look like. I don't know if it's going to be the highest grossing opening weekend, but I'll tell you, I mean, this is a movie, though, that really is the launching pad, the true launching pad for Phase 4, with everything that goes on in it. Phase 4, and honestly, Phase 5. But I'm just going to leave it at that. And yes, in case anybody's wondering, I will tell you this much. There's a mid-credit and a post-credit scene. Mid-credit you have to see. Post-credit is more comedic. That's all I'll say. That's all I will say. But yeah, don't my daughter Elena always gets a laugh out of it. You know, I will heckle people if they get up, especially on an opening night. You know, if you've seen the movie 3 or 4 times, yeah, it's fine. But this was the opening night. This was Thursday night. You don't get up and walk out of the theater as soon as the credits start. You just don't for a Marvel movie. You don't. And I will heckle those people. Oh, they're saying numbers are down, really. Yeah, I haven't heard the early. I think part of the thing could be because it's Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is not one of those upper level marquee Marvel characters. But this is one, if I'm going to say anything, you have to see this one because it ties a number of things together. It brings in a number of different things, and it's opening the door big time for the future. If you are a Marvel fan of any level, you have to go see this movie. But that's my opinion. All right, let's get off the movies. Wait, Roman, hold on. Well, Roman Reigns, it's a Sam Raimi movie. So there is kind of a horror spin. You can see his. I'm thrilled to death that he was the director of this movie because it went to a level. It was interesting. It was very interesting. All right, Eric, I got to watch my time here. What do you think of the Danhausen hook setup? I like it. And I like the fact that they've brought in Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. And Mark Sterling, he's having fun on Twitter with this. He is really having fun on Twitter with this. He had a quote or a tweet earlier. And Sean Ross Sapp got involved in this. Hang on a second. I want to show you guys this tweet from earlier if I could find it. But yeah, Smart Mark Sterling is having a lot of fun with this. Damn, yeah, Sean Ross Sapp has been a very busy boy on. He was at Under Siege tonight, so he's got a lot of tweets up. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Chris Jericho has filed a restraining order against Eddie Kingston. Okay. Oh, wait. Here we go. This is actually a Fightful story. So Danhausen and Smart Mark Sterling's feud grows more contentious by the day. On the May 6th episode of AEW Rampage, Tony Nese with Smart Mark Sterling challenged Danhausen to a match, calling him the idiot that everybody loves. Not fond of the insult, Danhausen took to Twitter and offered Jade Cargill $100 to fire her attorney. Here's the tweet. At Jade Cargill, Danhausen will give you $100, real human money, to fire this menacing menace. The following day, Sterling posted on Twitter that Danhausen is in fact petitioning backstage for him to lose his job. Sterling then brought up the fact that he is a father and Danhausen is being a menace by messing with the food on their table. He would even tag Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp to help spread the word. The rumors are true. Danhausen is in fact here. I'll pull up the actual article here. and you can see the tweet. I love this. This is absolutely flipping hilarious. There you go. Right here. With that super creepy picture of Danhausen. And Danhausen obviously responds, and I'm not gonna. Well, can I play it? Oh, just the GIF. I'm evil. Okay. Danhausen then brings in Matt Cardona and Brian Myers of the Major Pod Network. Did you know Mike is actually calling him Mike, not Mark? Mike is actually moonlighting as a television star and lawyer every Wednesday and Friday instead of meeting his podcast duties. I absolutely love. If you're not following Smart Mark Sterling or Danhausen or Sean Ross Sapp during all this, you need to. I absolutely love this. And let these two do their talking. And last night you had the whole thing where Danhausen brought out the gift for Hook, because Hook's birthday was on Wednesday, and he brought him a bag of chips with a bow on it, and Hook just left him there. I can see eventually what's going to end up happening. We're going to have the match between Tony Nese and Danhausen. Nese is going to beat the crap out of him. He's just going to beat him to death. And he's going to continue on, and Hook's going to come down and somehow get involved. And is going to really end up saving Danhausen, even though it's just going to be about beating up Tony Nese. He's really not going to be coming down to save Danhausen, but it's going to look like that. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to hold on a second. Oh, is there must be UFC going on tonight that I wasn't aware of. I don't pay attention to UFC that much. I just don't. There's too much stuff out there. I'll be interested to see where they go. Hello, Tom Young. How is South Dakota tonight? Oh, Howling Matt, I did not miss that. No, I am not. I used to be a soccer coach. I'm not anymore. This is the club that my son plays for. So this is some of the gear. But no, I'm the team manager, but I am not a coach. I stopped coaching last year because I don't really have an agreement with my kids, but I will coach them to a certain level. But once they get to that plateau for me, I want them to get trained by and coached by better coaches that are, much more talented than I am. So, I could take them to a certain level with rec, but beyond that, I'm out. And then I just want to be a dad. So, but I still wear the gear. Have to. All right. We have surpassed the hour point. We ended up actually going longer than I thought we would tonight. I didn't think we were going to hit an hour because there wasn't a ton of news, but we did the Ask John Anything segment. I like it when we're able to do that. So I think I am going to bounce out of here now. Thank you very much. Whoops, wrong button. I'm going to come up with a way for those of you listening to the audio podcast. I'm going to come up with a way for you to actually, you know what I'm going to do? You know what we can do here is if you want to, you can actually email me, and this will be open to anybody. Actually, if you have a question that you want to ask me, whether it's wrestling related or not, you I'm going to put it here in the chat. Why is it not showing it? There we go. There. It is WrestleScopeTV@gmail.com. WrestleScopeTV@gmail.com or @gmail.com. If you want to email me a question for on the show, we'll make time every week for questions. And especially, the audio podcast people, I want you to be able to be involved in this. Since we don't do these live, since these are recorded, I'd like to hear from the people. Let me know what your question is, where you are listening to this, what platform you're on, and let me know if you've watched any of the videos as well. I would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, it's there if you are on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to attempt to. I'm going to add it in the chat here as well. Hang on a second here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to add it in the chat on TikTok too. There, now TikTok, you also have it if you want to. Shadow Wolf, hello, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, Holly, man, I'm on way too many platforms too. But there, now TikTok, you also have the email address as well, WrestleScopeTV@gmail.com. If you want to email me a question for next week's show, you can. And for those of you on the video platforms, I'll keep this up. Actually, I will make this a new banner. There we go. I've created a new banner. So, all right. Netflix is doing a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Really? Perfect Storm. Hold on. Wait a second. Did I miss a question from you? I'm going to scroll back here real quick. Oh, yeah. That was the very first question. Do I ever do a Q&A with an independent wrestler? I would like to. It's something I'm working on. It's been a little bit hard. That there's a couple of people I've been chatting with online to have them come in and do a show with me. I'm still working on that. That is something though that is in the works right now. I just have to get a few other things into place to make it happen. Time-wise, work-wise. So yeah, I will definitely let you know when that's going to happen. Any type of interviews that I'm going to do, maybe we will open it up to a Q&A. The thing is though, I won't be able to do it on TikTok. If I do it, it's only going to be on YouTube, Twitch, and either Facebook or Twitter. I won't be able to do it also on TikTok. I just don't have the capabilities to be able to do that through StreamYard, which is the platform I use. So unfortunately, unless I do a TikTok specific one, but most likely I'm not going to do that. Oh, you're Roman Reigns. You're talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. That hasn't been confirmed yet. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to get out of here. I've been saying that for a while, but now I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much for watching, for listening. Thank you to everybody that has been jumping in here with questions. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. This is why I do the channel. It's because of the interaction we have. Don't forget, you can also click on my bio wherever you are watching or listening to this, and you will see my link tree in there that has all of my social media, all of the channel's social media, as well as the Patreon page, which again, I'm still working on putting more content there. And I haven't talked about this in a while. The Amazon wish list. The Amazon wish list is there because, doggone it, we need to add more masks. Now, are we going to do Mask Monday this week? I don't know yet. We may do a little bit of on Monday. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I am not going to be watching Backlash tomorrow night. All right. Thank you very much. Again, this has been WrestleScope Weekly for the week of May 7th, 2022. Day number 67 live. That's right. So tomorrow is day 68. When will I be on live tomorrow? Probably late again. I don't know when it's going to be. We'll see. Probably going to be a short one, depending on what kind of wonderful news comes out in the world of wrestling. We shall see. Maybe we'll do a post show after Backlash. I will look at I'll look at Twitter and see what ended up happening, if there's anything really worth talking about. But we'll be back again. Yes, I am disappointed in the build-up, but that's not why I'm not watching it tomorrow night. I'm not watching it tomorrow night because it's Mother's Day. And I can't, unless I sit down and watch it with my boys, I'm not going to do that. Jonah, one of these days, Jonah is going to end up watching a pay-per-view with me, and we're going to get him in here for some comments on some things, just so he can chime in on things. We shall see. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you again for everybody that interacted, that sent in questions, that commented. Greatly appreciate it. You guys are the best. And thank you so much for all the likes on TikTok. I really appreciate that. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. We will talk to you on Mother's Day for day number 68. And my computer screen is not a touch screen.